All right, y'all. Peace. Rafal Stratura, Shakim. I've been in here for a minute. Divine Truth. D Christian. What's the deal? So we got a little topic today. We're coming from the Supreme Alphabet. Jasim. Back to Jasim now, huh? D Christian said on the 140. L. Lowry. What happened to the other L brother, man? What's his name? Semi Samuel. I didn't see him in a minute. Today would be a good day for the wordsmith. 793rd. Smell goods. This is one where we start out with definitions. Fly phrase. But we could start off with the definition of what is a rule. Brilliant elevation. Yeah, you came in. We just getting started. We starting off from what is a rule today. Divine sense of the rule is the guide God uses to keep everything right and exact. Smell good said, that's my rule. Zip them lips while I'm learning must be followed, or you got to get away from me. Anybody else want to add on to what is a rule? Everybody should be on the Supreme Alphabet. D. Christian said a governing power or its possession or use authority. That's a ruler. Seven 93rd said a way of life or set someone chooses to follow. Jasim said rule is like a guidepost or decision tree It's the solution, the if-then scenario. Grand Elevation said something one shall abide by. Smell Good said what you go by, procedure, proper direction of conduct. Anybody else? Where all our people at? Why's you said knowledge build day, rule or ruler. Rule is supreme mathematics. Law, our law and order. Ruler is the black man. Sincere Shakima said it's the standard. D. Christian said a standard method used to solve mathematical problems. Queen Mecca came in. Fly said it's a regulation set up for people to follow. Raphael Chur said God is the only ruler there is by knowledge in his building powers and making it born to all the planets of the universe. Yeah, everybody. I'm gonna go. Somebody had Wise You said rule is supreme mathematics, our law and order. And everybody added on, but I'm saying that, a rule is a principle that's used to maintain order. Different places you got, depending on what's the order that they want to maintain, right? They might have different rules. See, it can only be one law. But see, different rulers, they have different rules. See, like even between your parents, your father might have different rules than your mother. But the rules do what? They maintain the order in the way that, whoever it is, because this is what I'm saying. We don't know what the order that person is that they want to maintain. Some people have established rules that you must follow, right, in order for them to oppress you. And some people establish rules so that the cipher remains complete. But the rule is the principle that we use. You got spoken rules and unspoken rules. So now, once you know the rules, you have the knowledge to build, right, in whichever atmosphere. Like if you come on the court to play basketball and you don't know the rules, people are going to tell you, look, get off the court, you don't know how to play. You don't have the knowledge to build with us. And if you don't go according to the rules, right, now we don't have a common cause. You're doing something else than what we're doing. See, like I said, the rule is a principle to maintain order. So now we deal with the signs, for instance, study your lessons. Will you continue to exist if you don't study your lessons? Yes. But if you going according to some other principle, how we ever going to come in tune, right, for one common cause? See, like you said, we all know what universal law is, but if you're going to build a group of men or a society of men, women and children, right, there's got to be rules. You see, all of us right here, right now, look, we God, we earth, by the civilization, all of that. At the end of the day, yeah, you can do what you want to do. But once you guys start going to a whole other set of principles, you can take any situation where you got a cipher or even an individual who doesn't want to observe the rules, and then what ends up happening? He destroys whatever it was, he destroys that order. Like, everywhere you go, like, look, in the street, there's rules. Look, don't be telling. That's one of the rules. Now, if you got a group of people together, right, and one person decides to go against that rule, what's going to happen? He's going to destroy that cipher. So you see, the same thing happens when you're dealing with this knowledge, right? And you got people that decide that there shouldn't be any rules. People that decide that, listen, you got the knowledge before a certain time. See, because that thing works both ways. See, a lot of times you would hear the young brothers saying, yo, y'all older brothers, y'all don't never want to see nothing new. If you didn't have the knowledge before a certain time, y'all don't want to hit. Yeah, see, sometimes the young brothers do the same thing. Where all of a sudden, you get told somebody that's a little bit older than you or has a little bit more experience with this knowledge than you. Now you don't want to deal with the rules. And see what happens when that really goes bad is when you want to maintain the cipher. And see, you got a lot of people that's like, yo, man, why can't it be like, in this time when everybody had the knowledge? Yeah, because y'all don't want to go according to none of the rules that we went according to then. See, that's a little bit crazy too. That's a little bit crazy too. You know how they say, look, one of the definitions of insanity is for you to keep doing the same thing and expect a different outcome? Well, let me tell you something. It's a little bit crazy to do something totally different and expect the same outcome. So if you expect to not observe any of the rules, See, and you know, I specifically say it like that because see, when you're dealing with law and order, right? We're dealing with supreme mathematics, which is the foundation, you know what I'm saying, of all things that exist. And what I mean when I say that is that, okay, we have different groups of men, women, and children, societies of men, women, and children that have applied supreme mathematics in their particular way throughout the course of time. Meaning when we study history, we see that there's been different civilizations, you know, whether it's Egypt, you know, whichever ones you want to go into. And they all have to go according to the same law and order. But they have different rules about how they set up their society. Our rule over here is we quote. Some other places, that's not their rules. Some other places, you know, you could do this. That's what their rules are. That's what their rules are. Now you make your decision. You know, your decision is whether you want to be a part of that whole or not. See, don't try to be a part of a whole, and then while you're there, you working to destroy it. See, a law, you know, when you break that, you got the you got the universe to worry about. That justice coming back. She's like, if you try to defy the law of gravity, that's going to be a certain, you know, you're gonna, the reality is gonna hit you pretty quickly when you hit the ground. You see, rules, sometimes you can get away with trying to break that for a minute. You might think you're getting over it. But what you're really doing is destroying the kingdom. Because see, breaking the rules ends up in a process called moving the goalposts. All right, we got King Shah, Knowledge Born, and King Green came in. So see, a lot of times, you know, I seen that be, I wouldn't say an issue, but you know, that's often brought up. You know, why somebody asking you a degree, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, why, you know, if a brother do that, then the guys is like, yo, you know, we don't do that. Because we're in a kingdom, in a certain cipher where the rules have maintained the order. See, for whatever else you could say about us, say to us, say for us, whatever, we one straight line of people, the history. There's no all the stuff you be hearing people talk about. There's an NGE. That's BS. That the NGE and the 5% is two separate things. Except that all of that is crazy. And everybody speaking that is talking about Yaqub signs. Because separation is a part of establishment and making the devil. We got one history. It hasn't been discontinued. You know, if they're a splinter group, they somewhere out there. How did we maintain that order? Because we had rules. I don't want to get caught up in, naming all these different factions that try to spin off from us now. Because they don't like our rules, God. So that's something, man, to always keep in mind, man. And your travels are everything that you're dealing with. That's why it's rules in there. You know what I'm saying? Along with rules, you have traditions. See, that's the science of culture, man. Like, for instance, right? If you went to a Chinese restaurant and you ordered some food and they gave you Italian food, even if it was the best Italian food in the world, you would still say, this is a horrible Chinese restaurant. I went there and ordered some Chinese food. They gave me spaghetti. They gave me pizza. It was good pizza, but it's a horrible Chinese restaurant. Few cultures have specific things that they do and things that they don't do. As a rule. Sometimes that rule is based on a law. That Supreme Justice just came in. Snotty, Christopher Gooding. That's the science of rules. Now we get to ruler. A couple of people already elaborated on it. But now that we know that a rule is a principle to maintain order, what is a ruler? That's not rhetorical. Oh, yeah, I'm saying a little message. So Supreme Justice said, in order to know how to build properly, one needs rules, period. Rules, regulations, and laws. Yeah. D. Christian said, a ruler establishes laws, principles, etc., lives according while enforcing such. Carmen's Lonely said, ruler is one who exemplifies the rules and upholds them. Bill Snoddy said, a ruler is one who upholds the measure and standards of a culture or tradition to continuous length. 793 said, one in charge who makes or leads by the rule. Smell Good said, measurement tool, enforcer of the rules. Divine Sense said, ruler is the ruler of the kingdom or a tool of measurement used to measure distance and draw straight lines. Supreme Justice said, part of our cultural responsibility is to be law-abiding citizens as a whole, though that first starts with our own culture, and that's being a law-abiding citizen of mathematics. You know, see, true indeed. See, a ruler, right, is one who has the calibrated scales. They have the calibrated scales to weigh and judge. That's what the ruler is. He's one who makes the order through making sure that the rules are adhered to. And see, that's where the thing comes in at, right? Where, like the guy is saying right here, when somebody says something about what is your cultural responsibility, you know, and how you handling it, right? What did the person say? See, like I said, you know, people want the knowledge and the nation to be how it was at one time, but you don't want to go according to the rules that we went according to then. And see, one of the reasons, right, is because you don't understand the science of Allah. You don't understand the science of the best knower. And being the one in any given situation who has the scales, right, to weigh and judge the situation best. So what you start thinking, this person is trying to rule you. So now it's, yo, you ask the person a degree, well, yo, why you questioning me this? Or, you know, yo, guy, you know, we're going to do this right here. Yo, why you trying to tell me what to do? Because if not, we're not dealing with one thing. We're not dealing with ourself, Lord and Master, if it could be anything. See, first of all, you can fuse the babies like that. And by babies, I mean anybody who, you know, is not fully aware of what we fully aware of. So now when they see you building and you all over the place because you don't follow any rules, then how are they supposed to gain the knowledge to build? How is it supposed to be born to them when they see that you don't follow any rules? See, some Supreme Justice said a minute ago, man, you know, that I did the knowledge to. You know, when you come out of the 85% world, right? Well, the training that I got in the 85% world, right, was that what made God God, right? Like what was the unique thing that, at least that I noticed, was that he's supposed to be able to break all the laws. Like if it's not raining, he just snap his finger and make it rain, whether water been drawn up or not. He can split the sea, smite people down. And when people ask you, when the 85% ask you right now to show and prove you God, a lot of times you will notice that's what they're looking for. They're looking for you to show how you could break universal natural law and still exist. But see, in the 5%, it's different. We say we God because we can go according to universal natural law. And not everybody can do that. See, what's the point of us studying all this stuff when we talk about knowledge and science and history and all that if, your power is to defy that? Because you're not going according to any rules. And see, like a couple of us was mentioning, you got to be going according to that rules yourself. Because how many things can we think of in the Bible? Like, listen, in the Bible, it says that jealousy is one of the 7 deadly sins, right? Jealousy is one of the 7 deadly sins. But then God said, I'm a jealous God. Or how we discussed, on a couple of shows ago. How many things does God do to his children in the Bible that if me and you did that and showed up at the pearly gates, they'll send us the other way? See, that's what happens when you stop following rules. You end up in contradiction because that's what the rules is there for, to maintain order. Calm Islami said history is renewed, but principles stand firm. While you said the maker, the owner, God of the universe, from Mercury to Pluto. The princess says, just like with hip hop, it has its own elements, principles, and tradition until the corporations, 10%, got a hold of it. Then the things change and people never respected the culture. That's a good example of how the rules of just the whole of, from biting, you know what I'm saying, to just, what you're introducing into the records, the type of concepts, things that, it wasn't no law. It was just an unspoken rule that brothers didn't talk about certain things on records at one time. It's not that dudes don't got stories. It's that that was a rule that's not what we doing. Then you stop following the rules. Now you wondering what happened to our thing. You stop following the rules that maintain the order. So see, now something comes into play here. Humility. See, I told y'all I was going to do that. That's my fault. I told y'all that I was going to come on and I was going to have I was going to post the 7 characteristics of a wise man on the screen. That's one of the 7 characteristics of a wise man, is being humble. So even in the simplest of situations, if you're having a conversation with somebody, and just the rule that, listen, you talk, then I talk. When you talk, I'll be quiet. When I talk, you be quiet. if we not humble enough to be quiet for a second and let the other person speak, it's going to result in confusion in the breakdown of the conversation. Because you're not observing the rules of communication. K Black C Supreme and Guccifer came in. Guccifer said defying a rule doesn't change the truth, it only delays your way to it. When your family tells you the rules, they're trying to save you time and hardship. This is walking and talking right here. See, that's exactly what happens with rules. See, because like I said, man, see, rules you can play around with. Can't play around with the law. If you don't like the rules here, you go over there. But you can't do that with the law. And see what happens, adding on to what Goose was saying, is a lot of times your family gives you rules, right? To help you maintain order in your life, and you break those rules, and then you end up in trouble with the law. Those rules is to keep you from going afoul of the law. So if your parents tell you, look, stay in the house or come in the house after this time right here. But you out there, you know what I'm saying, until you end up putting wisdom before the knowledge somewhere. Because that's the atmosphere you in that they try to keep you out of. Now you done run into the law. And you can't say you what? Didn't know. Supreme just said this same thing is happening within the 5%. Nobody wants rules, regulations, and laws when someone failed to realize the law and order of the universe is what? Mathematics. This is what, in a way, I'm trying to do a whole live video here. You're going to sum up everything I'm saying in one paragraph. You see how 5% is? K Black C Supreme said the laws of the universe, no one escapes them. He Kareem. I was going to give He Kareem a new name. Now, as Born said, indeed, like manners and chores, those rules build responsibility, and assuming that responsibility gets you through all things. Yeah. A lot of those rules, they teach. Learning the rules, that's gaining the knowledge to build with us in the cipher. Like if you don't want to follow no rules, you go by yourself. You go in your house, close the door, and don't follow nobody rules. But if you want to be in the hole and have it maintained with order, and to tell the truth, after a while, you in there by yourself, you're going to see you need rules for yourself too. How you do things, principles and standards that you manifest and maintain the order, even in your rest, in there by yourself. When you going to wash the dishes, how you going to wash them? Green Elevation said, that's like what my pop said, if you ain't got no money, don't go out. Yeah, because you know what ends up happening. You end up with another group of people that ain't got no money, and then y'all start planning. That y'all cool kind of planning. Supreme just said when there are no rules, there's a mystery God concept lurking around within the mental, one expects someone else to do the work, and they just follow through. The other side of the mountain had the voice of God. Yeah, exactly. We're and sometimes, that happens. That's part of what's going on in society too. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't know if these type of degrees is still going around. You know what I'm saying? But like when I was getting the knowledge, we had a lesson talking about how the devil kept the original man occupied. You know what I'm saying? With 8 hours of work, 8 hours of rest, and 8 hours of recreation. I don't know when that was. You know, uh, but let's say that ever was 8 hours of work. They've been slowly uh, taken away from your recreation and your rest time and adding it on to work. So that's one of the things that they doing to this day is keeping you occupied with all your time. See, the point of that little I guess lesson that was flowing around was to say that you didn't have time to activate your own mental power and think about freedom, justice, and equality because they occupy all your time. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens certain times in the nation. The reason I said all that was to say that, look, people got jobs and everything now. And a lot of times because you want a job and you're doing certain things to take care of yourself, your family, and everything. Now you kind of start thinking that you might be exempt from the rules. Like if we say, okay, look, we got to come together to do this thing right here. See, like Supreme Justice is saying, now you start thinking some mystery God is going to do it. And when I say some mystery God, I mean somebody besides you. But that's when we stop looking at the rules of, look, there's certain rules to the nation. Look, there's certain rules to building what we want to build. When you building, to achieve something, Gucci said you run into the law or worse, you run into Allah. Yeah, he Kareem. I was I got a name for he Kareem. I'm gonna put you with the mathematician and the wordsmith crew. Wise ruler came in. Calm Islam says so-called cultures with no rules are like plastic flowers. The magnetic only lasts till you realize they are devoid of true essence. Yeah. And look at different cultures over the time. Cultures that were successful, they followed certain rules, certain patterns. They went according to certain mathematics, and then they had certain rules set up. Once the mathematics was established, to keep the mathematics established. Well, as ruler said, without rules, there's confusion. Confusion is the devil's playground. Spirit and Elevation says, so what are some of the rules that we need to uphold that we've been slacking on? One of the rules, and look, this is a rule that I've seen even in terms of, I watch their videos and everything, what I'm saying, they have on YouTube, the brothers in the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? the Bloods and Crips. You know what I'm saying? And no matter whatever thing you go in, when people start talking about when things went left, got something to do with how we treat each other. It got something to do with giving your brother and sister the benefit without the doubt. It got something to do with knowledge and equality and understanding what a disagreement is and what it's about. You know, it's about being humble enough sometimes to separate yourself from your words. Meaning sometimes, look, I'm saying what you said is wrong. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm not saying you unrighteous. But sometimes that's what we get to. We just because I disagree with you on one topic, now you're not God. You know, the kind, you know, that we didn't talk about each other like that. Because see, if listen, back in the time, if you talked about somebody, 5%, they went right to that person. Say, yo, man, such and such said you did that, man. What's up with that? What? He told you what? Where he at? That's how that was, man. So that's one of the first things, man. You know, that's right up there. You know, yeah, we always weed it out, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you got a large group of, you know, men, women, and children, society of men, women, and children like that, and we bring people in with no barriers because we the 5% and not the 10%. So we bring you right in. Now we got to examine you. That's just the way our thing works. See, people, they jump you in. We jump you out. You know, another thing is, you know, we got to get back to regardless of whom or what. You know, don't get me wrong. Like I said, you know, as we grow up, you have family and all of that. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you got different things, but there's certain things. If you show up in front of Evander between, you know, 7 o'clock, 7:30, and 9 o'clock, you gotta know your lessons, man. Regardless of whom or what. Not, yo, I had to study for a test. I had to go to the store for my mom's. You know, that's why when brothers say, look, man, you know, there was a time when the rally was wall to wall, son. Like you used to have to go outside sometimes just to get air. When it used to be the show and prove, the earth used to be on the steps in front of the school because the babies couldn't be in there. That's how hot it was. That's how many people was in there. That's because you came to the rally regardless of whom or what. Like it was something about this thing right here that we was building that, yeah, you know, it could be 1,000 reasons now. You know, you don't like that person, you know, it rained last night. You know, those are two big ones. You know, there's probably some other people that got some other ones too. They come right to mind, man. Nobility Black, peace. Supreme Judge said grass ain't greener on the other side because there ain't no grass. Because there ain't no grass and there was no grass. Just high explosives. Yeah. And that's what happened to a lot of people. Blew themselves up. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know, Supreme Judge, that's searching. You're searching for trillions of years for the Son of Man. Brilliant elevations. Yeah, I did. I've heard about the driving in those countries, brilliant elevation. That is a little bit nutty. You know what I mean? But yeah, everybody. YG, thanks for reminding me right there. You know, I'm a horrible broadcaster, but I'm working on it. Can everybody do the each one teach one and hit the like button for me real quick? If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that. K Black C Supreme said, keep the mind busy non-stop. Silent weapons for quiet wars. Brilliant Elevation said, learn something new every day. Yeah, if the rule ain't used, it's not gonna be right and exact. If it got no rules. Nah, see, he Kareem, I'm gonna start calling you Siri. See, one thing about he Kareem is whenever I catch a brain freeze, and I can't think of the fact that he Kareem always knows it. There are certain things, like, you know, when I start talking about the Quran, I'm not a scholar on the Quran. I know certain things that's in there. He Kareem, he knows it. A lot of things you like, yo, this person right here, they existed. I can't recall their name, but they did this. He Kareem be knowing the person. Let's say he Kareem is like, Siri, next time I forget something, be like, Siri, who wrote the Principia? Yeah, he Kareem, man. You like sugar, man. You sweet, smart motherfucker. Nobility Black said, thinking of rule, Yaqub's children were given 6,000 years to rule. We clipped them up 2,000 years, so they've been ruling for 4,000 years. We got 2,000 years to go. This is why rule equals lure nowadays. Yeah, you know, Nobility Black, that's something we used to discuss, man. You know, because in one, he says to last for 6,000 years. And in one, he says to rule for 6,000 years. So I think that might be kind of up to us, whether he lasts or rules for 6,000 years. Because see, if we ain't ready, he'll go straight on past the 6,000 years. He will go until we do something about it. The Savior has to be risen up from amongst us, from amongst our people, from amongst our time and our condition. The people, they got to come from us. You see what I'm saying? Like when it tells you, you know, in some people degrees, and mine said, my degree says, Allah is the original man. But some people's degrees say Allah is the original people. See, I understand them both. See, the only savior we've ever had came from amongst our people. And all the saviors who they tell you about when you read these books, whether they the Bible or rather they history books. Meaning nobody never came and say Rome that wasn't a Roman. Julius Caesar was a Roman. The people who fought the Moors out of Spain, those were Spanish people. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman, they came from us. And we came from them. So the real thing is what we gonna do about it. The real thing is I mean, don't take it like that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, understand what I'm saying. Is that somebody just told you that you're supposed to have 23 million square miles and he's supposed to have 6 million square miles. And you gave him the power to rule it for 6,000 years, and now he's going overboard. What you gonna do about it? How you gonna number his days and make sure they expire? So, you know, yeah, that's that. You know, we could have a whole cipher on what you said right there, and I've been in ciphers and we've been there all day dealing with that topic. The Illuminati. Common Islamic said, nobility, I've thought of that, but once you manifest the devil, it's only a matter of time before you will fall victim unless you take it off the planet. That's a form of control in and of itself. Keeping the devil in check isn't enough. You got to take off his head. Yeah, that's right. Exactly right there. Young Dub. Kareem said their grace period is not any specific number of days. It depends on us, the the king collectively, the kingdom collectively. Their grace period is not any specific number of days. It depends on us, the kingdom collectively. Yeah, you know. Billion Elevation said expiration is 1914. But if the stock person doesn't pull the item off the shelf, then it's still there. And that's a good example because it's going to start poisoning people. Oh, the 11 original people to only one devil. Yeah. Nobility Black said Allah don't make devils.
It's 12 o'clock.
But you know, that's the journey you got to go on. Because maybe not even that you making devils right now. You know what I'm saying? Uh when you well, for me, when I came into the knowledge, I had devils to destroy. You know what I'm saying? This is, that's something. Look at that. you got a lot of people that they look at the signs. I even heard Farrakhan say that one time. I didn't like when he said that. And he was like, yo, he was talking about the 5%. He was like, anywhere you go in the prisons all over America, you see the 5% in there teaching. What you mean in the prisons, man? You go into the top universities too. What you talking about? In the prisons. Yeah, all right. And that's something that, this is a little bit of a sidebar right here. You know what I'm saying? But it coincides with the brother was saying in terms of Allah not making no devils. You know what I'm saying? Allah wasn't, Allah was a military guy. He was in Korea, man. He was a family guy. Allah, he never got arrested other than that time, and that was something else. Like, he wasn't a criminal type of person. Is that the people that he chose from, we already was a certain way, and then that reflected onto him. You understand what I'm saying? To where people was thinking, oh, that's what you... No. We came in with that. And it took us time to get that venom out of us. But he didn't have no like jail record or nothing. It was that one event. And he was attacked at that event. You know what I'm saying? If he would have started teaching at the library, then we would have, you know what I'm saying? We would have already started out a different group of kids. He didn't recruit. What's that thing y'all be talking about? The Jack and Jill with the the kids where they go. Nah, that's not where we was, man. We was the people. You gotta remember, that's who needed it. Like when they say a chicken with their head cut off, that's the people that the knowledge was coming to. And it took a while for some of us to sew our head back on. Oh yeah, Brilliant Elevation. The GoFundMe, we up to $806. Matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up. A heads up on that, right? I think we got, hold on, let me check right now. We got about 12 donors so far, right? Let me see. Yeah, it's 12. So when we get to the halfway point, everybody who is a donor, we're gonna have a meeting. You know what I'm saying? Whether we use Zoom or whether we might just be a private, a live that goes into private, and I have to send you the link. But and then we'll start locking down some things we got to do. I still ain't get a chance. We need to find which state is the best state we want to incorporate in. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I already recommended Delaware because, the tax situation and everything. You know what I'm saying? But, I was hearing that Nevada is good. You know what I'm saying? So any information like that, that's what we want to start getting that together. So and we can complete. And like I said, I got the brothers still lined up to come on and give us some ideas so we can make an educated decision on what we want to do with it. But yeah, it's at $806. Yeah, see, this is fast turning into the as a what's your name? But I like it. Call me wrong. He said Yakub taught the devil how to master the original man. So yes, I would say his rule did start once he was birthed. And then Supreme Just question is, did he rule while he was in the caves? Yeah, see, he skipped us right over it. See, Brilliant Elevation was thinking we was going to get to $666. So if we was listening, if we was at $666, you know how it is. I can't come on, can't go live with 666. I don't play with 666. I don't y'all play around too much. Talking about carbon and all this. I don't play. Wise ruler, the GoFundMe, it started from a couple different brothers. Joe Self probably was the first one that, what I'm saying, he was asking, like what are we doing about certain things? You know what I'm saying? Like, do we have a scholarship, something like, that we do, what I'm saying? What are we doing on different levels? Saying that we need to put some loot together, you know what I'm saying? Like that idea was already circulated by him, but then the brother Shaquem, you know what I'm saying? He got supremely inspired where he was like, yo, listen, we can put some loot together and and I got the first amount I'm ready to put my money where my mouth is, you know what I'm saying? So it really just kind of grew from there. Then we established the GoFundMe. So, it's for us to make community investments, you know what I'm saying? It's not really like a dividend type of thing where, you're gonna make this X amount of dollars per year, but it's something that we want to use to establish some economics, you know what I'm saying? Like for instance, we got a couple of ideas like real estate or whatever, you know what I mean? So say if we did something in real estate and you was a brother that has skills on how to repair houses or something, you know what I'm saying? So you might go in and do the renovation and get paid, you know what I'm saying? Or another idea that we working on right now is we got a brother that got 6 acres of land down in Mississippi. So we trying to establish a food distribution network where, you know what I'm saying, we know the person that we getting our food from. We know that it's not GMO. We know that it's, not all the strange poisons put it in everything. Um, we had well, I got a few more people coming through, you know what I'm saying, in a minute, but it's for that type of thing, so the first one we start out, it probably be small, like, you know what I'm saying, we probably do stuff like giving out book bags for back to school, you know what I'm saying, and those type of things. But just to, something where we can start having an impact on the community, you know what I'm saying, but also keeping in mind that it's on an investment level, so we keep growing it. You know what I'm saying? So right now, like Brilliant Elevation said, we got like 2 donors that, you know what I'm saying, they put, fair amounts in there, and then the rest of us, we put in. So yeah, that's the GoFundMe. Overseas accounts. I mean, if it come to that, I know some people that they could get into that and all that. Uh, yeah, y'all getting into some high science over here, man. I like this. This is that's one of the things right there. See right here, y'all following the rules. Y'all following the rules, man. See in the black nobility, when they ask you a question, you ain't get all, yo, y'all questioning me, and yo, you didn't hear what I said. Nah, you just showed and prove. You start, boom, y'all going through that's the rules. Not all that sucker girl stuff, man, that be going on now. Wasn't like that. Hold on, let me put the link for the GoFundMe in here. I think it should be in the description box too. But this is it right here. That's the GoFundMe link. See, I like this right here. See, and going through the lesson. See, that's what happened. See, people get into a thing now, and then you want to go into some ancient Sumerian science or some other Chinese science. It's a son. Why we can't deal with mathematics, man? Is the stuff that we know, man. See, once you start introducing all that stuff in, you introducing something else from another place, another date, another time. See how that conversation flowed like that? And we've been here for a while. We've seen how a lot of these conversations went a whole other direction. That's what it is. See, everybody in that conversation is people that all agree on the science of everything in life. So they ain't searching outside for nothing. And everybody has the humility, like I said, the 7 characteristics of a wise man. Let me add that on. When you said what rules should we, 7 characteristics of a wise man. All of them. That was the 7 characteristics of a wise man was kind of the rules of engagement. Remaining humble, not speaking on what you don't know, admitting when you're wrong, not speculating, not talking bad about. This was Smoke Dower, my young brother. You came in here to suggest some good music to me. Dude. Yeah, I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna put him up on the. I'm gonna put him up. I'm gonna make sure I put him up tomorrow. 7 characteristics of a wise man. You're right. You know what? I'm gonna post him on my IG too. See, these are very. I like this conversation that's going on in the chat right now. Some of the people that's they're gonna see this. They're gonna see this on the repeat or whatever. I don't know if they're gonna understand uh, how this chat right here, man. If you just getting the knowledge, you know what I'm saying. If you getting up in your 1 to 40, you need to be reading this chat right here. See, that's another thing too, man. Like back in the days, see what people consider arguing now, right? Is uh that's not what we considered it back then. We just considered it building. You know what I'm saying? And that was how we learned a lot. Like when we on the 1 to 10 and 1 to 36, and two brothers that know 120 lessons start going through a science, like they trying to get a cipher correct, and they start going through all the science they know, and you sitting there on the 1 to 10, you ain't never heard none of this. This don't come out in there every day when we just build, how she they mathematics guy. You don't be saying this stuff. And you gotta remember, man, that some of the stuff we talk about right now, we talking about that thing. And you in the conversation, look, you 15, 16 years old, people talking about the leakies. You know what I'm saying? You listen. They go through all kinds of history, man, where you like, what? That happened? Yeah, man. This is a good question right here, Knowledge Born asked. So I want to ask, how much power do you give the devil? This is a good question. Does anyone? Bueller? I think I'm gonna jump. I gotta jump in the side rally on this one right here. Y'all got me. I try to refrain. But y'all got me. I'm all in on this one, man. How much power? How much power do we get see now? Look, y'all about to teach me here now. You talking about the 200 fallen angels? What's that? Whoa. Hey Siri, man, can you tell me what they talking about here with the 200 fallen angels? Overstanding blunt. Peace to the God. Yeah, God, that's how we used to learn, God. Like what y'all call an argument, God, we used to crowd around and watch that. we used to crowd around. Like, listen, you would come from say like you might be around the corner over there and be like, yo, man, these guys over here is go like what? Scientific Kim is over there? All right. The new expiration date is when we make it, Brilliant Elevation. See, because look, and this goes to the question that I was just saying that I like this question. How much power did you give him? See, we gave him the power. That means we could take it back. See, that's what we deal with in this society all the time, in many different forms. Where they tell, all right, we're going to look out for you this way, then they take it back. because this mind. See, we see people in the entertainment game all the time. With because yeah, you mainstream, you getting it and you doing your thing, but they gave you that. That's a part of the mainstream that they control, so they can take it back from you. But see, you notice certain underground people, they can't really do nothing with them because they power comes from the people, and they magnetic is with the people, and not uh, with the devil. So the expiration date now is on us. It's about when we gonna make the word flesh. You see what I'm saying? Because rather, like I said, it's whether you want to say he's been ruling 4,000 years, you want to say he lasted 6,000 years, if you going, it is still all boils down to what we want to do. Nobility Black said 200 fallen angels equals 59,000. Well, it's supposed to be 15,999 that made the first 200 years. All right, yeah, you got to clear that one out for me. First of all, 200. So you saying the fallen angels are years? God light came in. Well, as you said, we gave the devil the power to rule the earth for 6,000 years, then destroy him in one day without falling a victim. Well, as ruler said, the devil has no power unless God gives it to him. Yeah, I'm still trying to see. Now, I agree with you in terms of Yakub only existed for 150 years into the making of the devil. So he never saw the completion of the destruction of the Black Seed. I agree with you with that part. I just don't know how you made the 200 years 200 fallen angels. Calm Islam, he said fasting and praying equals building and adding on. Anytime wasted not building is lengthening the devil's rule. Yeah, that's a facts right there. Oh, I didn't think about that. Supreme Just says so. Is that referring to the angel babies? Hmm. Overstanding blunt, so they call it argument because they lack the understanding. Yeah, and I think too that you just got a different. I mean, people. I think you got a more arrogant group of people that uh, came into the knowledge, you know, where they're kind of expecting to be experts already. You know what I'm saying? Whereas back in the days, you understood that, I'm just a newborn. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, when you stepped into a cipher, you step into a cipher with 20, 30 people, and all of them know more than you. That humbles you right there. When you get in and you see how comfortable some other brothers is speaking like that, all of this kind of thing humbles you. Whereas now you got people that come into the knowledge and they feel like, look, I already been in college, son. Like I got a degree in this, man. Like, yeah, you just had the knowledge before me, but I know what I'm talking about. And they got this attitude that's like, well, you know what I'm saying? Look, I got a master's degree. So, if you could master it, at 15, 16, I it's a cakewalk for me. You got that's a little bit, because people are older now too that's coming into the knowledge. So they got a lot more pride built up. So even like I said, we're dealing with rules and not understanding that a person hipping you to this rule right here, that don't mean they're your ruler. It means in that particular situation, they got more knowledge on how to build and be successful than you, how to build and be born. And if you don't follow the rules, you're gonna destroy the cycle. So that's something that I seen, man. That yeah, they lack the understanding of that growth and development that happens in the cipher. See, a lot of times that I think that happens too. Is that see a lot of the wild stuff that happened in the cipher is Hollywood, and by Hollywood, what I mean is those are the sexy stories. Everybody want to talk about universal beat down. Let me tell you something, man. The ciphers is where we came out of, son. What happened at that time was a product of the ciphers, man. That's where you came, man. And, like they told you that the black man is God, but that's where you perfected it, man. That's where you perfected it. Listen, man, that was everything. That give you a little sidebar. Listen, even the females was watching the ciphers, guy, and they could tell what your status was by how you spoke. They could tell if you was getting bombed or if you was doing the bombing. And yes, the females responded to those who could bomb. Saying the ciphers was everything, guy. That was the first thing when we seen each other and the last thing before we left, man. That wasn't, it wasn't, sometimes now it seemed like people give it a bad connotation and a bad ride. You know what I'm saying? Like it was nah, man. Nah. The ciphers was beautiful. So let me get back in here though with this cipher though. But yeah, that's peace. That's peace overstanding. For bringing that type of memory back to me. So yeah, so we try and get to the bottom of this fallen angels. The fallen angels is the angel babies in the wisdom ability story degree. Because wait, now God like you just came in now. Because Nobility Black said it was 200 of them. And then he said these is the first 200 years of the process. Phrase said education and knowledge are two different things, in my opinion. Yeah. You know, some people never get to deal with the science of everything in life. Like, yeah, they got knowledge of self. You see them, they say peace God. They not believing in no mystery God and none of that, but they haven't built up their knowledge base, to where they could build in all worlds from highest to lowest. who is the angel babies today? Right. Wise ruler said I have people who were sparked to gain the knowledge of themselves just from witnessing the ciphers. You know something? I got people like that too. I remember the first brother, you know, uh, you know, I knew him from class or whatever. And one day he comes up to me in class and he's like, yo, you know, you 5%, right? Right, yeah. So he's like, yo, it looked like, you really know what you was talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at him like, yeah, why would I know what I'm talking about? So he's like, I was always curious about being a 5%, but it's kind of, and I didn't know nobody. I didn't know how to go about. So yeah, there was a whole period of time where people was coming to me because they were seeing the ciphers. Exactly, man. Yo, listen, man. That's how people look, and that's how cats knew not to fuck down. Listen, man. When we showed up on the set, right, and we have a cipher. First of all, you already see the numbers. You already see the numbers. We having a cipher 20, 30 deep. So people know, and then on top of that, they hear what we saying, so they know who we are. And we did that every time we moved from one. If we walk, if we left a neighborhood, like sometimes we might be in the same neighborhood, and we might. But I'm saying if we went from point A to point B, we had a cipher as soon as we got to point B. Period. And site point A, we already had a cipher when we showed up. And if you missed the cipher when you came, boom, yeah, how you see it? Yeah, we already been through it. Taking you through it now. But building, man, I'm telling you, man. Calm is lonely asked a very good question here. Which tradition of fallen angels are we building on? Biblical or Quran, Nephilim, or the jinn? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all got this kind of talking, man. I'm trying to get in the side rally, man. Y'all ain't let me in, man. He can research where in 120 does it speak about fallen angels? What lesson, what degree I wait? Man. So he said, yes, brothers departed from the gangs and all. So in God culture, the ciphers was very sick. Yeah, that was that, like, well, that's something I was speaking on earlier, is that, the 5% where we came from was already a certain background. You know what I'm saying? And really coming into the knowledge, a lot of people think that the 5%, that's what made people think the 5% was a gang, was because many of us came out of those backgrounds and it took us a while to get that venom out of us. So we was doing things that Allah never did or never was about. But it ended up reflecting on him in the whole nation, which, listen, goes back to how we started. This is why it's got to be rules. When you're trying to build something with a group of men, women, and children, or a society of men, women, and children, you see what I'm saying? Because it's impacting the whole. You don't want to follow the rules, you got to go on your own. And then even then, you're going to see you need rules. to maintain order at least. Calm is lonely. Now the angel. Oh, he said, calm is lonely. He said, angel babies is a lie told by the nurses. In other words, they don't exist. Hmm. Divine Truth said the nurse told her that her baby was an angel baby and was taken to heaven. This was the lie that the devil told to continue forward with the grafting process. God Light said, making the reference of falling the angel babies today is the righteous teachers of the poor. One of the rules not mentioned is to kill the 5%. We don't believe in the teachings of the 10%. Um, I mean, they want to make us the angel babies. Uh, Personally, I would go with Nobility Black right here and say, I'm not in that degree. I'm not, I'm not in that degree. Premier Partner Networks. Nobility Black said I fast 3 days every month, study 120. You know that's one. Fast was the time. Nobility Black said I fast 3 days every month, study 120, raised the rod in August. You know, that's one thing that I missed my cipher. Like I don't know how it was, but I didn't find out about that until the 2000s. And the wild thing is the person who told me about it wasn't even a 5%. Like they told me about it, I was like, what guy? And then I went and asked the brother, and the brother I asked, he didn't have the knowledge as long as me. He was like, yeah, you don't know about that? I was like, nah, I ain't never heard about no raise, no rod. Now you tell me. Actually, let me see. From August, I got I got I got a son that's born in May and a daughter that's born in June. So now I wasn't observing. I wasn't. I wasn't. I wasn't observing. Raise your rod. I guess I wasn't on my thing. Wise Ruler said I thought it was a gang when I first witnessed the 5%. Um, yeah, no, I didn't really know what it was. You know, it was just some people. You know what it was? See, it was older brothers on my block that was 5%. So it wasn't, I wasn't really looking at them like a gang. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew them. I knew they wasn't in no gang. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I did know that they wasn't to be played with. Because the dudes that, like I said, that was from my block, they wasn't to be played with. And then it was a situation that happened in my junior high school. You know what I'm saying? And these cats came up there, and that was when, I mean, it wasn't like nobody didn't know, but it demonstrated don't play with them. Supreme Justice said the raising of the rod occurs in the month of May. Did the Son of Man paper with Universal Shan God speaks on that? Let me see. May. Um, so you got that's 7. Well, I got a son that's born in the beginning of March. So no, I wasn't observing anything. I wasn't observing anything. Yo. Yeah, D Christian. Yeah, you're not supposed to be dealing with save equality unknown. Blue Eyes, do I know Sons of Man members? Yeah, I know them. Nobility said you might have got it from the paper, but I got it from the doctor. Who's the doctor? Wise Ruler said it was around 82 and they used to always have fights with the Zulu brothers. All right, now look, I recall that. I do recall that. Um, you know, I don't know. Yeah, for whatever reason, I never. Plus, that's what it is too. You know what it is too. So you saying 82? You know, in 82, I knew who to like. I knew the brothers from my block. I knew they was 5%. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to recognize a 5%er at that time. You know, per se. And you know, a lot of people used to fight back in 82. You know what I'm saying? So for whatever reason, but yeah, I do recall those times. But I was younger then. Oh, Dr. Janelle? God like said in Yakub society, his law is to destroy their life. In this nation, we rule through reproduction mentally and physically. D Christian, I mean, I suppose they observed it for a month. I ain't never observed. You know, listen, listen, man. For whatever reason, the brothers I was around neglected to tell me that. But like, well, I mean, like, look, I missed that one. You know, I must have, I must have skipped class that day. Because I never heard that till like the 2000s, man. Supreme Judge, you said I had put you on to what? Santa said, especially if you didn't know your lessons, that was the way brothers went about keeping the next brother on his square. Tackhead, Tackhead, 12121. That's a you know uh his name. You gotta admit this name. See, listen, it's not you. It's that in the culture of the 5%, that type of slang, a guy's certain meaning. It's not you. But Musa D, what's going on? So when you say the science of the 16 shades of black, what do you mean like the you know how the genes work? Oh, the history and science of raising the rod. I had put you on to. Yeah, nah, that never came up when we was building. Yeah, I remember. And listen, listen. I'm not the only brother, right, that was around at those times that never heard of it. It's other brothers that I asked, like, yo, you heard it? It was like, yo, I heard about it, but yeah, nah. Listen, man. Listen. All right. Now, Tackhead, uh, see when you dealing with you know, first of all, let me ask a question. Where did you get that from? 16 Shades of Black. Because see, the way it goes, it's supposed to be 16 Shades of Black, 16 Shades of Brown, 16 Shades of Yellow. So I don't want to answer a different question than the one you asking. Hey, Supreme Judge, speaking of that, because that's the big question we've been wondering. Who was that? Like when the history of the raising your rod, right? Who was that got told that? Because sometimes that's what things come down to. Somebody was told something that was for you. That wasn't really told. There's some things that Allah told people said, look, go back and tell the guys that's what I said. This how it is now. And some things, now I told you that. Tackhead, you still there? Yeah. Like you ever had like a little a younger sibling or or a cousin or something, right? And they get called in the house and they tell you, yo, come on, we gotta go in the house. No, we ain't gotta go no place. You gotta go in the house. First of all, you don't even see me. What you talking about? Ah, man. The great Dumar YD. You got a pamphlet from Dumar YD. All right, see, when you're dealing with the 16 Shades of Black, the 16 shades of brown and 16 shades of yellow, right? That's symbolic. That's from the universal flag. See, when you dealing, it's saying that because look, you might have 16 different shades on your own body. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look on the inside of your arm, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the side that touches your side, your rib cage. It's lighter than the outside. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with each one of them shades, knowledge, equality, borns God. Telling you black seeds is God, brown seeds is God, yellow seeds is God. Outside of that, you're not dealing with God. Now you get to the fourth seed. But it's to show you that complexion doesn't make you God. See what I'm saying? Like we was building the other day, you know, being the black man, that's only one qualification to being the original man, God of the universe. Yeah. See, that's another thing too, man, about the science of this nation and our history, right? Is that it was a real time kind of thing. Like, see, right now, there's a lot of people in this room, right? That, uh, uh you know, you probably older than the law was when he started teaching this. He was understanding equality. All right, I'm gonna get to that point that you just made in a minute, Tackhead. You understand what I'm saying? And you gotta remember he's coming out the signs, you see what I'm saying, of being in the temple and all of that. So all these things is real time. See, that's like for instance, we didn't have the universal flag in 1964. But once it was realized that we needed a flag, then that was manifested into existence. So what that means is that if you got the knowledge in 1964, right, you wasn't told the same thing about the flag as if you got the knowledge in 1968. So what you got to realize is that Allah said things to this person right here. Maybe he told them that in 1960. But then we went into Matterhorn and had certain experiences while being the 5%. Like brothers was like before he went in, that they was much more their self-styled wisdom wasn't as developed. That a lot of times they might say something what Allah said. But then when Allah came back out, he was like, nah. You gotta use your wisdom. So that's why a lot of times you saying, yo, this older brother told me this, and that older brother said that this is the case. And now you deciding that one of them is a liar. But in reality, One of them met him in 1964 or 65, and one of them met him in 68 or 69. When they first came out, they used to wear the same Muslim flag. So you got to realize that. Don't put these brothers in competition with each other that never was in competition when they was around to say, oh, well, Dr. Janelle told me this and this one to, nah. If they said that, Dr. Janelle, I know very well. He ain't going to just tell you no lie. And from what I know of Sham Guy, he ain't going to just tell you no lie neither. Sometimes we have to understand the history and also understand that knowing both aspects of that story, what Dr. Janelle got to say about it and what Universal Shamgar had to say about it is seeing Allah, because you bringing them together in your mental capacity to weigh and judge and say, okay, this is what I got from Allah. Or this is the message that Allah sent down to me. What I analyzed, what I seen for myself. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? When brothers were saying something we got to do, don't do that. Don't pick this brother's teachings against this brother. All right, so right here, and we had a similar discussion and study. You say here that you were taught that any man could be God. One, you truth. Only the original man is Allah. Now, the only place that I see any man is in the 33rd degree. See, the knowledge degree and the 1 to 10 gives you a very specific description and definition of the original man. You know what I'm saying? When we deal with the sciences, like I said, man, the only person, right? See, when you say God of the universe, unity means one. The universe is
it's 1 o'clock.
Positive, negative, good, bad, tall, short, all worlds from highest to lowest is the universe. Now, if the black man is God of that, and God means the most high, so you can't have two things that could be the most high. Can't have two things, can't just have anything be the most high. So that means anybody else who's the God of something can only be that if you give them the power to do that. So like right now, right? Whoever wants to be the God of smoking crack, I grant you, look, I relinquish my throne to you. I relinquish whatever, all birthrights to being the God of smoking crack. You got it. You got that power. If you want to go be the God of smoking crack right now, I give you permission. I give you, listen, anybody asks you, tell them Christ said you good. But, we don't want to get too far off. Sometimes that could lead people down the wrong direction where you start saying the white man is God and stuff like that. See, even in devilishment, the black man can do devilishment way worse than them. But we don't do that. That's not our nature. So you go ahead and have that. You put them out on the worst part and keep the best part reserved for yourself. Now, when you fall a victim, then you give them the power over you when you fall a victim. Like when we put them out on the worst part in Europe, dude, you can do whatever you want to do over there. You can do whatever you want to do. Look, you want to rape the women, you want to live in the cave, eat raw meat, whatever you want to do, go on ahead, man. But it's the simple fact of the matter is that when we talking about the planet Earth, right? Only one person or only one thing you could say is, okay, this is the penultimate being. You know, the most high God of this realm. And all the other ones is just a black man. You know, it can't be other most highs. There's only people that we say, yo, go ahead, you can have that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you would never catch me being the most high in. See, this goes into what Nobility Black was saying, you know, when he said, listen, man, we not the son of man that made the devil. We the son of man that agreed. That's why Yaqub is one of the few individuals that singled out in the lessons. How many people have thought of that? How many, like when they say the original man, it's not singling out no particular individual. It's not singling out no particular civilization. It's not saying, yo, the Nile River, the Tigris and Euphrates, the Yellow River, the Indus River. It's not saying that. The Niger. It's not saying that. It just says the original man. How come some people are specifically spoken of? Because it's letting you know, like Nobility Black is saying, that certain people make the devil. And see, you know, that was actually my first definition. When I'm talking about, listen, I'm talking about fresh out the box, newborn. The very first definition I had of the devil is one whose negativity not only affects himself, but everyone around him. So what that means is, like the brother was saying, we're not the son of man that made the devil, but sometimes we still affected. You know, because if somebody, I can't recall who it was, made a statement earlier, you know, you got to avoid being the one that falls a victim before you take the devil off the planet. He's going to victimize. But you can take him off of the planet without being victimized because you didn't give him the power over you. Let me give you a good example. Somebody was talking about the 28th degree, right? You're talking about, you know, look, you know, we say the modern day cremators is the police. See, you got some brothers that ain't never been a victim of the police. They ain't never been locked up. They never been in jail. They never gave them that power over them. Don't get me wrong. The devil ain't here to follow your rules. It tells you he will not keep and obey the laws. So yeah, things happen to innocent people all the time. But that's something else. That's all of us as a whole, as a society. But him as an individual, he didn't give them the power to do that. Just like I was saying, when you deal with these situations with the police, I don't like mixing in a situation where somebody actually did a crime with somebody who's totally innocent. Even though the person committed a crime and they don't, it wasn't a death penalty case. You swipe the pencil. But you don't want no clouds of deception. You don't want nothing to cloud up the issue. Because the one person, by virtue of what they did, they gave them the power to approach them. But see, when you're dealing with a situation, like what's the brother? I think his name was Tamir Rice. Y'all know I'm bad with names. If that's not his name, the brother that got, I'm pretty sure that was in Ohio. He was a little kid. He was playing with a toy gun, and he just rolled up in the park and just shot him. He was so little, it blew him off his feet. See, I don't like to mix that up. Say, for instance, with the situation that happened just recently, where the brother was driving in the car. He was in some type of chase with the police, and then he got out. Now, they shouldn't have shot him. But see, you went in that realm. You went in that realm and gave them the power to do that. See, with Tamir Rice, we all gave him the power to do that. That's all of our justice. Because we didn't do what we were supposed to do beforehand to have him in the right situation where he's supposed to be. That's our fault. That was it. Whatever happened with that situation anyway? That's another good situation about, something that happens and it's like, it just gets swept under the rug. We should still be, we shouldn't even, not, and this might come out wrong right here, but listen, we shouldn't even, the Ahmaud Arbery, he should be on the list. Like, friends, we got so much things, so much issues, and so much brothers that try to kill for no reason. We can't even get to that yet because we still on this. Yeah, that's on the docket. We're gonna deal with that. But right now, you still ain't saying nothing about that. Wise ruler said you must not give them the power over you or your situation. Yeah. See, that's taking the devil off the planet without falling a victim. Now look, it's not, you could do it the other way too. You could do it the other way. You could take the devil off your planet after you fell a victim too. There's plenty of people that did it. It's just, look, same situation we say. We've seen people make the devil, get the devil power over them, and get themselves locked up for a period of time. And then some of them people now is the most upstanding citizens, that you would want to meet. Because they took the devil off their planet now. But they gave up some time because they gave him power over them. They gave up some energy. Listen, man, that's your life in there. Not saying you did life or you on a death penalty, but I'm saying that time what you spend in there, that's your life, man. That's your life that other people is out here living and you ain't there. I mean, we know the situation. Some things may happen, it may have to be like that. But see, even if that comes about, that's something different too. That's you showing and proving your power regardless of whom or what. Some things happen, listen, regardless of whom or what, it's got to be him. But these is the things that, getting back to the GoFundMe, that's the type of thing where we trying to accomplish with that. K Black C said this goes back to us being right and exact. At the end of the day, there are only a physical manifestation of our own rebelliousness. Yeah. And just, it's no simpler way to put it than that they exist. You know what I'm saying? See, just like knowledge is power, lack of knowledge is weakness. And so people with knowledge take advantage of people who's ignorant. Not ignorant meaning you stupid, but look, even just that you knew. Look, going back to the same situation we just said. And it's a shame that this situation applies to us in so many different ways. But look, people get locked up. Who's in there? What's happening? The people that's been in there many times and for a long time is taking advantage of the new people that's just coming in for the first time. See, on every level of life, that's how the 10% work. Is when you have a lack of knowledge, right? Mentally is weak. Okay, physically, it equates the same way as weakness. That's when people know they can take advantage of you. That's when you're a victim of the 10%. See, like I said, don't be discouraged because you can still take the devil off your planet after you fell a victim. But I'm just saying, that's not why we teach the babies, I'm saying. That was a sidetrack. That whole era where that became cool for 5%. That's why some of the younger brothers may be coming in the nation now saying, yo, we got all this knowledge. Why haven't this happened? Why hasn't that happened? Because we gave them some of our life. K Black C Supreme said we got to get back to our own nature here. That's one of the things we be talking about. You know what I'm saying? See, that's why we're not pro-black and anti-white. Because our nature is not to be anti-anything. See, like I said, our strongest thing is that we can go according to the law. See, when a person don't go according to the law, right? You look, for instance, what's easy money? Easy money is when you don't got to go according to the laws and rules. That's easy to break the rules. But let me see you keep the knowledge before the wisdom every time. Let me see you not get caught up in equality every time. Let me see how clear your picture is every time. That's what's hard. It's easy to take advantage. Anybody that got half a brain tell you, man, it's easy to take advantage. So that's what's easy. What's hard is following the rules every time. You know why? Because the rules ain't always comfortable. Having principles, it ain't always comfortable. Because let's face it, sometimes you may have to, give your life for those principles. See, let me see you go according to the rules then. K Black C Supreme said cause and effect. D Christian said integrity. Yeah. See, integrity is strength. It's a kind of strength. See, let me explain y'all a version of events. Y'all may agree, y'all may disagree. See, Allah kind of gave his life. Same thing with Martin, same thing with Malcolm. But specifically, listen. You hear how the brothers talk now? Allah has soldiers, man. And he knew it was issues. He was told to stop doing what he was doing. And remember, of that era, Allah was one of the last ones to get it. Meaning, you got Medgar Evers and all them in the early 60s. Malcolm in 65, Martin 68. I'm not saying he was the last or that there was any particular thing about the order that they did it in, but I'm just saying that by that time, of course, what with the order of business is. And he still ain't stopped. See, let me see you be writing exact then. See, it would have been easy for him to go somewhere else and say, see all my infinite wisdom, I realize a delight. Nah, get the fuck out of here. I don't hear that shit. See, when Fox came in the building, you got this name, you remind me of a brother, See Love, that used to be around a lot. That was my man right there. Yes, God. Yes, God. With the cowboy hat. K Black C Supreme is something right here. Do the right thing even when nobody is watching. See, that's character. Knowledge Born said integrity is accountability. 9 moons. What's going on, 9 moons? Nobility said ignorant, ignore equals lack of attention, and small things. Illiterate, ill means sick, iterate it equals to communicate. Lack of attention to minute details causes you not to speak what you see. Hey, man. We I don't know if you saw the videos where we dealt with exactly what you was talking about right there. You know what I mean? Just adding on what you're saying. We was dealing with, going from the square miles, right, to the square inches. You see what I'm saying? Going from the big broad topics down into the details. D. Bridges said, also known as having balls, perseverance, and a fortitude. Yeah. Is Asiatic mathematics in here with us? The wordsmith? I need the wordsmith to look up some words for me. And see, he speak that. See, Nobility Black, he speak that too. That anagrammatical kind of talking. So yeah, that's a whole thing. That I mean, that's something that I knowledge. That's one of the things that I liked about the 5% is that I could understand their power. Like when I was dealing with Christianity, I didn't understand, like how you did that though. Like how the bush was burning though, and it didn't burn up, it wasn't consumed, because I didn't understand this Nobility Black. I didn't understand that type of language at that time, what they were saying. I'm taking it literally. So we create something that we say in the universe is all this harmony, all this balance, right? Then why do we show and prove that we God of it by disturbing that harmony and balance? And then because you have that religious mindset, you come to start having these expectations. This is how you expecting things to happen in real life, man. All that stuff reflects. You see? Because with you in religion, and it gives you that state of mind where when you studying and you reading these things, you looking for yourself in the wrong chapters, in the wrong paragraphs. You looking for a paragraph that talk about the slaves. You look for a paragraph that talk about the people that's cursed. Because this is real to you then. Felix Ayuba said, many are called, few are chosen. Where you from, Felix Ayuba? It's a new brother. A new brother that just came in the room right here. Shout out to Felix Ayuba. You right about that. Many shall come, only a few shall be chosen. See, that's why we examine everything. Where you from, Felix? Because we like to know where everybody is at. Because we in the real world too. So we come in tune and build the right way. This is just a stepping stone. But while Felix Ayuba is getting back to me on that, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. By the way, we now have hold on. We got $856 now. We started with 806. We got $856 now in the Random Jews investment account. All right, serious mathematics, from Houston. That's peace. Shout out to Houston. Who's out there in Houston? Ain't True Born out there? True Born is out there in Houston, right? We have a lot of people from Texas though that come in the group. Oh, you in Houston too, 9 Moons? You see what I'm saying? So you know Felix Ayuba 9 Moons? Y'all gotta come together. All right, yeah. You see, because I'm that way. Where, it's gonna come a time, right? Things get to that level where look, when we come in tune with each other, I don't wanna know if you know your lessons. I wanna know who knows you here from junior high school. How many of these people ever lived around your block before? Point me to the person who knows your mother, your children. Who are you? See, because a lot of people can learn a quote. 9 Moons, your God is in Savior C. What part? We got a lot of people in Savior C too. So South Carolina, right? Brilliant Elevation is in South Carolina. You having knowledge 120? Well, it's nothing to it but to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got a couple people out in South Carolina. I know Brilliant Elevation is out there. Ambition to Win is out there. Somebody else is out there too. But yeah, Felix and 9 Moons, welcome to both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? If you can, everybody do the each one teach one. Click the like button for me. Subscribe, share it on your Facebooks and Twitters or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you just came out. Yeah, listen. Welcome to the free world. Welcome to the free world, God. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's enough of your life. If it was one day, God, that's enough of your life to leave up in there, G. That's enough, guys. Too much. You know what I'm saying? You know, the title of this video, it's for everybody, but I'm saying in particular how it applies to you is that there's rules, God. You know what I'm saying? And how we gotta live, to not get the devil to power over us, man. He's here to cause confusion. We know that. But that's one of the best skills that we can learn. Really anybody, but especially when you're dealing with the original man over here in North America in the specific ways that they try to, oppress us, man. One of the best skills we can learn is how to avoid trouble, guys. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why, we study the lessons and the parts where Yaqub is so prominent, so that we can see when trouble is coming from the root. That's why it starts from, Yaqub in the lessons, it starts from when he's 6 years old. Years before he actually gets to Patmos and starts making the devil. So by that same token, you got to see that far in advance and predict your history, you know what I'm saying, that you're going to be born, alive and successful, you know what I'm saying, and not in the belly. Not in the belly. Because none of us don't need to be in there. Especially not right now. When you in there, if you want any type of government, anything, the squeeze is going to be on. I'm talking about after all this crisis stuff. So be aware, you know what I'm saying? And always preserve the best part for yourself and keep the devil and all his establishment out on the worst part, away from you, because you're not going to be at peace. Not sitting up in there. Hashem said, wasn't Yaqub predicted? True indeed, Yaqub was predicted. But see, a person ain't always predicting. That's the thing about trouble. A person ain't really never predicting, the hammer coming down. You ain't predicting the sword. You see what I'm saying? Nobody in jail was like, yo, all right, I'm going to do this thing what I'm doing right now. I'm going to get busted. And then, boom, I'm probably going to get like 5 years. Nobody's thinking like that. But when it starts happening, and even knowing the certain categories and situations to avoid the telling lies, the stealing, the trying to master the original man, it's, there's certain things that once we start recognizing if these things is coming in our midst or we falling into it, we take that off the planet without falling a victim to it. But like I said, don't be discouraged, because you can still take the devil off your planet after you fell a victim. But the wisest way is to do it without falling a victim. Just like the wisest way is to learn lessons from other people's mistakes, you understand what I'm saying? And not have to go through it yourself. You see what I'm saying? The penitentiary is a cipher you want to master by leaving it alone. That's another fine line that everyone should try to, get the knowledge of and always remain aware of. K Black C said their aim is to keep us from quieting our minds. It ain't about us making noise. The main thing they fear is us getting quiet and quieting our mind. Yeah, I can see a certain signs to that. Where as long as they see what we doing, as long as we singing and dancing and throwing the ball in the hole and catching it or whatever, and they see that this is what we interested in. Like people that's truly, if you about freedom, justice, and equality, right? It's not but so much love and hip hop you can watch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're not gonna watch none of it or something devilish about watch, but I'm just saying that we got certain interests, man. I doubt most of the people on here, you know what I'm saying? If you listening to me talk about this stuff, For this long, you're not probably watching reality TV. So when they put that out there, I've always seen that too. You know what I'm saying? Where that it's almost like that's a test. Like, all right, you still respond to that? All right, we know we good. We could go do. You know what I'm saying? We good for another 50 years. They fast asleep. D. Christian says Steve Biko said it's a mental education first, then a physical one. Yeah. But tomorrow we got the class. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta put my time in on that. I got a couple other things I want to prepare as far as like I said, getting the people lined up, the other people that's gonna come in and present us with different ideas or whatever we want to invest in and stuff of that nature. You know what I mean? D. Christian is 7 o'clock tomorrow. Now Moon said rap is a tool right now. Yeah, it's a way to control the images. You know what I'm saying? It controls the images and the messaging, you know what I'm saying, on original people. And I'm gonna tell you another thing it does in a fine line, right? That's another one of those things that gives the devil a little bit of power. Because see, one thing about the message in the 60s, and I don't know if a lot of people realize, but one thing about the message in the past, it was always that, listen, the reason this stuff is happening is because of poverty. The reason this stuff is happening is because of the neighborhoods we live in. But see, when you see these rappers with all this money and they live in these gated communities and mansions and they wilding out more than everybody else, okay, what's the problem now? Oh, it must be just you then. That's you just like that. And so when that messaging is out there, right, we could just throw any little thing. Oh, he ran in that construction site. That's why we shot him. Yeah, he was trying to steal. You know how they are. So yeah, that's one of the tools that they're using to promote certain images, And the worst part is that we cooperate with them. But like I said, tomorrow I see y'all at 7 o'clock. Then Wednesday we should have some guests lined up. You know what I'm saying? Thursday, is Sunyez on Sunyez 7 right here on YouTube. And then I'll be back on Friday to handle my handle. Right now, Moons, used to justify our oppression. So, like I said, PCR, oh yeah. And I will bring the 7 characteristics for y'all. So peace, everybody out there. Guys, Earths, all of our neighbors that check us in the background, peace.